Hi, everyone. You're watching another 24/7 TBC live broadcast. My name is Paul, and this is episode 61, and today's date is June 8th, 2018. And the title of this episode is, What Does Eliminating Poverty Look Like? Okay, TBC stands for the Billion Coin. It's a cryptocurrency that's been out for 2 years. We started on March 21st of 2016 with a mission behind the entire concept of our coin. So because we have a mission, we have to have a small amount of control over the coin, over the distribution of the coin. We call it the Billion Coin because we're going to make 1 billion coins. They've already been made. There'll never be any more made after that. Just 1 billion coins. And see, it's enough to accomplish the mission that we have. Also, the price is not based on trading on a market. You won't find TBC or the Billion Coin on the coin market cap. Okay, so there's no volatility in the price of our coin. Our coin only goes up in value every day, never goes down, because the value is based on you and I, human beings, people. It's based on our community of private members. Okay, and when we reach 1 billion, our first 1 billion members, we will max out the price of the coin. And that will be it. It will never get more valuable than that. Okay, now the algorithm that our coin is based on utilizes the concept of people having unlimited value. We are priceless as human beings. So every person that joins our private community, our Billion Coin community, and gets some Kringles coins, adds a certain amount of value to the full Billion Coin itself. When we first started out 2 years ago, we started out on something that everybody understood, which was the euro. Okay, now obviously the US dollar also, but they're not exactly the same price. The US dollar is a little bit more than the euro because it doesn't have the value equal to what the euro is. So we based it on the euro, and every person that would join would raise the price of our coin by €1. So if 10 people joined in one day, the price of our coin would go up €10. Okay. And if 5,000 joined, then it would go up by €5,000 that day. The point is, we are an abundance-based coin, the only abundance-based coin in the world right now, as far as we know. There is another abundance-based coin that is being developed and should be out, according to the owner of that company, in April of 2019. Also, it's not going on the coin market cap. It will be on an algorithm that will value its coin on each individual that purchases the coin. Each person that purchases the coin will raise the value of the coin by just a pinch, okay, just a fraction. And the next person has to buy it at that raised fraction of a price. And the next person, the same thing. So again, the price of that coin will never go down. It will always go up until it reaches whatever maximum that's going to be set on. And I don't have any idea what all the details are on that. I just know that it validates what we've been doing for 2 years, and that the people are being woken up to the fact that when a cryptocurrency gets put on a market exchange, it doesn't become a solution to change the world because of its volatility. And it takes a considerable amount of time to reach its top value due to supply and demand, depending on how many coins they're going to make. Let's use, for example, Bitcoin. The maximum coins Bitcoin was set to make and is going to make is 21 million. 21 million, that's all. Okay, out of 7.6 billion people in the world, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins. Now, in the future, obviously that coin will eventually reach a very, very high price due to that supply and demand, that, limited supply and demand. Okay. So in the meantime, though, it's on an exchange and the price goes up and down every day. So it makes it very difficult for merchants, retailers, shop owners, service providers to accept it like money should be accepted, because the price is going up and down way too much, especially with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is being manipulated by the wealthy. See, when you put something on a market, which is part of the central banking system, then they can buy it up because they've got all the money. They can buy up the coin or the stock or whatever is on a market. And they call that pumping the price up. That raises the prices up. And then people get in and they buy because they see the prices going up and they want to make some, a return. So maybe they just want 10% return on their money. So they'll buy and then they'll sell as soon as it gets up to where they know they've made 10%. Or 20% or 30%, whatever it is that they've set for themselves, they're going to try to do that. So it's a risk because you don't know when the prices are going to go back down. But with the coin market, it's especially risky because it can move so fast. And I'm not saying that the stock market can't move fast. It does too. Okay, but the coin market seems to work even quicker. And the prices on a daily basis are can fluctuate more so than normally the stock market does. Okay, because it's fairly a new system. Okay, Bitcoin came out in 2009. So it's been 9 years. Okay, so it's not going away. The technology is solid. It's incredible, and it's only improving. It's improving slowly because of the way it's set up and decentralized. But our coin, we have already developed a blockchain platform 2.0 because we saw what was going on with Bitcoin with the transaction slowdowns and them being unable to do a certain amount of transactions at the same time per second on that 1.0 blockchain platform. So we started building a new one last year, okay, into our second year of existence. But the slowdown came even for us, okay, because we were doing so many peer-to-peer transactions that it slowed the system down in spite of the fact that we were not on a trading exchange. See, every trade that goes by is a transaction. So when you're on a trading exchange and when you're doing as much trading as Bitcoin is, it's in the billions, hundreds of billions, I think 134 billion is trading every day, something like that. But anyway, I don't pay attention to that because I'm not interested in trading the Bitcoin that I have. I'm just sitting on it because I know that 12 months from now, it's going to be higher than it was today, okay, due to supply and demand. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, because our coin is not on the market and goes up in value only, it's much more of a solution than it is just an option to protect your wealth. What is the difference between a solution and an option? A solution is we can literally eliminate global financial poverty, which is our mission. Unlike any coins that are on a market, they cannot have a mission that they can stick to. Okay, so they bring out a coin, and here's a coin. We're going to put it on the market exchange. We're going to have an initial coin offering, an ICO. Come in, buy coins. As soon as it goes on the market, you're going to double your money, which is normally what happens. And then you don't know what's going to happen after that. And that's if the coin is not a scam. Okay, so that's usually how it works. That's how it works. But then the coin is not in control because there's no control of the wallet system and it's all decentralized. So they can't really say, we're going to do this with our coin and we're going to do that, because once it gets out there on a market exchange, anybody can buy it. Okay? Anyone can buy it. Now, keep in mind that we have 7.6 billion people on this earth. We have only 2,200 billionaires. Only 2,200 billionaires. That means there's only 2,200 people with at least 1 billion or more dollars. Okay? And that is the problem with the world. The wealth is in the hands of a few individuals, excuse me, who are, most of them, evil individuals. Okay? They just are, most of them. Not all, but most of them. Because there is such a small amount of them. They like to have their little club. Their little, whatever you want to call it. In fact, they're meeting right now in Italy. Okay, so the point is, we've been on that system here in America since 1913, when the Federal Reserve Act was passed and we gave our monetary system over to the private bank called the Federal Reserve. So we have just become slaves over the decades. And the world has become slaves under their system over the centuries and the decades. And we've reached a point technology-wise that we don't have to put up with that anymore. Okay? When we have the ability to create our own money, then we can take our power back. And that is the beauty of cryptocurrency. It is money. It's real money. It's not just currency like the euro, like the US dollar, which they call the petrodollar, which is not our dollar. It's the Federal Reserve dollar. It says Federal Reserve note right on there. So we have an ability that we've never had before in the history of mankind, and that is to take our money back and put it in our hands everywhere, anywhere in the world. So each country can create their own currency now, cryptocurrency. Or if they want, they can repatriate their gold, which they're doing. They can buy gold and they can back up their currency with gold, and therefore it becomes money. This is what Russia has done with the ruble. It's what China has done with their yuan. And now they're using that money, which is backed by gold, which is now in competition with any fiat currency out there that's not backed by anything. So the US petrodollar is you know, is basically worthless. The euro is basically worthless. Okay, the European Union was formed with the intent to create one global, you know, monetary system and a global government. Okay, it was their first step: bring Europe together, create this European Union, make everybody do whatever they wanted them to do. Okay, but right now you can see that the European Union is breaking apart. The people don't want to be slaves anymore. And we have a president here in America who is 100% dedicated to destroying that system. What system? The central banking system. He wants to get the money back into people's hands. He wants the people, us, you and I, to buy the politicians, which is the way it's supposed to be. We own our government. We cannot own our government unless we have our own money. Okay, common sense and logic. If the central banking system has all the money, then they get to buy the politicians. Those politicians do what they want, and we don't have any power. We just have to sit back and look at the horror that our corrupt government has been doing for decades, and what corrupt governments under that system has been doing all over the world for decades, even centuries. So we're in a very exciting time. And because we are changing over, literally moving from the 1.0 blockchain platform to the 2.0, which supposedly has transaction fees or transaction speeds equal to Visa and MasterCard. Now, what is Visa and MasterCard transactions per second compared to Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is around 7 per second. 7 transactions per second worldwide. Visa and MasterCard, the average is 2,000 per second worldwide. Okay, there's no problem with that. They can do up to 6,000 if they needed to per second. It's not a problem with the 7.6 billion people we have in the world. Okay, but it is a problem if you're trying to use Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, and it gets up to a point where enough people are using it, which has happened, and it's trading, and the transactions are getting above, say, 16 per second. And then it starts to slow that system down. And we see what happens with Bitcoin. If you're familiar with Bitcoin, you know that it's forked off a couple of times, I believe. Definitely, I saw it myself because I've been involved for 2 years in Bitcoin. Forked off last August, and they created another coin called Bitcoin Cash. And it helped the system. Okay, but they're going to keep running into the same problems like that until, well, I don't know how they're going to, because it's so decentralized. How do you get the whole miners? You'd have to get every single miner, independent, private miner out there to agree with each other to come together and say, hey, guess what? Let's build a 2.0 blockchain platform. Otherwise, you'd have to be a brand new creator, a brand new person who has not created their own coin yet and knows how to, and goes ahead and creates a faster platform for their new coin. Okay, I would imagine that's what this other coin that's coming out that will be abundance-based has done, because that man is as smart as it gets. Again, there's just a lot of smart as it gets men out there and women out there. Okay, so I'm just saying, this guy has succeeded tremendously with a messaging app that he came out with in 2013 called Telegram. Okay, it's completely private. No third party can know what you're talking about. And 200 million people were chatting away on that free, completely free app back in March, 2 months ago. 200 million people in the world. So now he says, okay, I'm going to come out with a coin. And it's going to be abundance-based, and here's how it Here's how it's going to work. And they came out with an ICO, and the ICO has broken all the records for coin ICOs. Last time I looked, they had gone up. They had collected $1.7 billion in their ICO, which is a record. Why? Because people now understand what a coin is like that, and they want to get in. But here we've been for 2 years. We were the first. We were not on a market exchange. We took all this flack for not being on the trading exchanges. Oh, you're not a real coin if you're not on the trading exchanges. What's the billion coin? If it's not on the trading exchange, is that even a real coin? Well, of course it is. It's built on a blockchain, the same blockchain platform everybody else was. It's just that we didn't want to put it on a market exchange because we wanted to hang on to the distribution aspect of our coin. We have a mission, and that mission is to eliminate global financial poverty. We can't do that if we have no control over who buys our coin. So we kept control of the wallet system. You can't just go out and pick a wallet and then buy some billion coin or some Kringles and put it into your wallet, your own wallet. No, you have to get a wallet from us. When you sign up into our private community, that wallet is created for you from our system. You also get a back office, okay, because there's a whole lot more involved in our mission, okay, and it's really cool. I mean, for the first time, those of us who sit around and watch can now sit around and do something, okay, because it doesn't take much except opening our mouths and talking to our friends and our loved ones and saying, hey, check this out. There's a coin out there, a cryptocurrency that can eliminate poverty. It doesn't fluctuate in price. It goes up in value until they get to their first billion people. How many people do they have after 2 years? We have 3.2 million. Okay. After our first year, we had about 100,000. And then it grew 30 times last year, the last 12 months, from 100,000 to 3 million. Okay. So, and that was when we had a slow period. That's when we did slow down from the transactions, just peer to peer. We were buying and selling things amongst our own community. Okay, which we still are. But now we've got this new 2.0 blockchain platform that we're migrating all of the 3.2 million people from the old over to the new. We just started doing that a month ago. And we're going to do it up till July 31st. Okay, 90-day period to migrate. Okay, when we're done and we're on that new coin platform, we just turn the servers off on the old one, and that's the end of that. The wallet system, the blockchain, it's gone. So people need to migrate over to the new one. If they've got any coins in that old wallet system, they need to migrate those coins over to the new system. Okay, so we're taking our time and we're helping and we're doing it. Okay, because we know that once we accomplish that, then we're going to see massive growth, especially with merchants, retailers, service providers, and so on, because they will be able to accept it knowing that the price isn't going to go down the next day. There's no chance the price is going to go down ever. And it's that if they accept $100 worth of Kringle coin, that it's going to be worth more than $100 the next day, and the next day more than that, and the next week more than that, and the next month more than that, until it reaches its maximum value, which will be determined on our first billion people. And see, when we have a billion coins and our first billion people, we will have an absolute fully matured worldwide economy. Okay, and the other 6.5 billion people will be taken care of in pure abundance like they've never imagined. Okay, so this is something that a lot of people that I've talked to couldn't even imagine when I first used to talk about it a year ago. Well, not a year ago, probably about 6 months ago. Took me about 6 months to really hit me because my mind was so brainwashed from the lack, from the scarcity that has been driven into my brain by the system. Yeah, there's not enough. There's not enough for you. Okay, there's lack of this, there's lack of this, there's lack of that. There's not enough water, there's not enough food, there's not enough, cars, not enough Lamborghinis, there's not enough whatever car you want, there's not enough. Except for a few of us that, you know what I'm talking about. And we see what's going on in the world under this system. It's been horrendous. Especially the 20th century. It was just, well, no, it just continued into the 21st. Okay, it's just been nonstop. But I mean, it really got horrendous in the 20th century because of the modernization technology of the war machine. Okay? So, but this is the way the central banking system and what they call now the deep state, which is the intelligence services of the world, operate. They don't care about humans. They don't care about humanity. They just care about themselves. In fact, if they had it their way, they would depopulate the world by over 50%, just to make it easier for them to control us. But it's not going to happen, okay? The so-called deep state is falling apart as I speak. Okay, Trump and the Patriots have already made peace in Korea. On the 12th, it will be a nice little show to finish that off. Okay, for the world to see. Then we are making peace in Syria. Then we're going to make peace in Iran. We're making peace in Afghanistan and peace in Iraq. We're going to pull our whole entire military out of that region. Okay? Because there will be no point for us to be there. The only reason we've been there is because the central banking and the deep state has caused all of that misery. All those wars. You name it. All the wars in Africa, Somalia, all the problems that we've been involved with. We, meaning our government and their corruptness and their use of our military since Vietnam, since before Vietnam, okay? So things are changing, and all you have to do is open your eyes and take a small look at what's going on around the world. In countries like Venezuela, which has been a socialist country now for a number of years under Chavez and now under Maduro. I think that's his name. Maduro? I don't know. I get confused with all these presidents of all these different countries. But the point is, they weren't going along with the central banking system. They didn't want to do what the central bankers and the deep state wanted them to do. So the deep state and the bankers put sanctions on their oil. They couldn't sell their oil. So their people started starving to death down in Venezuela. Starving to death. Okay? Just recently. And the government decided to come out with a cryptocurrency to get around those sanctions, to flip the bankers off, tell them to go jump off a cliff. Because blockchain technology is here. So they did. In fact, they first started, well, I think it's still called the petrocoin, because their idea was to base their oil on, or their coin on their oil. So they called it the petrocoin, and they brought it out to the people, and they said, come on, people, use this. And the people said, well, listen, we can't sell the oil, right? If we can't sell the oil, does this coin really have any value? And so the government said, well, that makes sense. But guess what? We have our gold right here in our country. It's not in any other country. We do have our gold. Tell you what, we're just going to base it on gold. And the people said, okay, cool. And now what you're looking at is you're seeing Venezuela starting to make deals already with other countries with that petro gold cryptocurrency coin that they have. They're making deals with the Palestinians, which is another state that has been oppressed, and genocide has been committed on them for decades under the central bankers. These countries are fed up. That's all I can tell you. The people are fed up. They've always been fed up if they've been awake. That's why when our billion coin are so popular in these second and third world countries. And I hate using those terms because it just really upsets me that there even is terms like that. That this is the world we live in, when it's ridiculous. All countries in the world should be first country. They should all be fully and completely developed, just like America is and just like the countries in Europe are, or whatever, wherever they are, Australia, New Zealand, okay, Canada. These are all so-called first world countries because they're developed to a certain degree. Well, why isn't all the other countries? So these people that wake up to poverty, this extreme oppression and poverty, are quick to change their minds. They're quick to see an opportunity that really makes sense to them. They want their lives back. They're tired of being oppressed by dictators. They're tired of being oppressed by governments that are corrupt and central banking that strips them of their money and tells them this is what we're going to pay you and this is how you're going to live, and tough luck. Okay? Meanwhile, we're going to take your oil, we're going to take your precious stones, we're going to take your precious metals, and we're going to keep them to ourselves. Because we own your government, therefore we own your country. Your government's in debt to us. Okay? So our coin is a solution. Currently, it's the only solution. You can consider gold a solution if there was enough to get it in the hands of everybody, right? But they've got control of that. It's on a market, right? The price of gold can fluctuate, just like silver and platinum. But it's pretty stable. Not only to mention, it has real value. It's real money. So gold and silver and these things can all be options, including all of the cryptocurrencies, can all be options to protect your fiat wealth. Your wealth that is probably all in euros or all in your country's monetary cash fiat currency, the US petrodollar, Federal Reserve note. Okay, maybe it's all in a 401 or an IRA, whatever they call them, and the stock market, which is the central banking system. They control it. They have your money, right? Your money's in a bank. You've got bank accounts. You can't do nothing without a bank account, right? That's the way they've designed their system. They're eliminating cash, so it's making it harder and harder for people to do anything privately. So everything's going digital, right? We've been on a digital platform since the internet came out. So there's nothing wrong with that if the money was real. There's nothing wrong with that if it was in the people's hands and not the central banking system. Okay? You have to have an account with a bank, right? They can charge you whatever they want for that account. They can charge you fees. They can charge you this. They can charge you that. Not to mention, they just devalue that thing every day because they just make up more money. So, and they put us, the people of our country, and all the countries in the world that they control, into debt against our Constitution here in America. We just want to talk about America. I'll talk about America. Okay? I love my country. I'm a patriot. And there's patriots in every country in the world. But what can I do? What can I do? I can bark, 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 but, what can I do? Nothing, not much. Okay? Nothing hardly. But now I can. You say, well, how can you make a change, Paul? You're just, regular American citizen. What are you going to do? Well, guess what? I discovered the TBC Billion coin in March of last year as I was doing more research on cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin, because I had made a purchase in the last quarter of 2016, the year before. And I wanted to know more about it. Where was this thing going to go? Really, really what it was all about. I mean, I learned enough that I purchased, but I wanted to keep learning a little bit more. Even though it's not something I'm super interested in, I am kind of interested in it. Okay, it's not the greatest passion to know what cryptocurrency was, because I didn't realize it was part of another huge passion of mine, which is freedom. But when I started to do the research, it came together, and I realized, good grief, cryptocurrency can do this, but something's not making sense to me. And then I saw a YouTube video as I was watching Bitcoin videos that said the Billion coin, TBC. I go, what is that? I haven't seen that on the coin market exchange or the coin market cap. Let me go check that out. And it was all about TBC. So I did another search, came up with a page full of, oh, TBC is a scam. They're not on the coin market cap. They're a scam. Don't get fooled. Don't buy any coins. This coin is not real. I said, really? And I did my own research like I do. I do fact-based research. Okay. And that's the way I've been. Okay. Another of my passions is truth. Okay. It's like conspiracy theories. Okay. It's almost like an oxymoron to me. I know what a conspiracy is, right? We all know what a conspiracy is. But a theory, why would you believe in a theory? It's something that's not been proven. It's like the theory of relativity. It hasn't been proven after all these years. Why? Because it's not true. Even Tesla, to me, he actually proved it wasn't true. But there's, you have to get into what Tesla was into and understand the difference between Nicholas and Albert Einstein. Okay, because there was a great deal of intelligent truth from Einstein and a humongous deal of intelligent truth coming out of Nicholas Tesla. Their lives overlapped. Okay, but Tesla was going to bring us, for instance, free wireless electricity back in the 30s. But the central banking system wasn't going to have that. They had already built all the telephone and electrical poles all over the world. They laid wires all over the world, connected it to everything with little meters that, they can see how much electricity you were using and they could charge you. They weren't about to let a guy back then give the whole world free energy, when that's what the world has the most abundance of, because everything is made out of atoms, where everything is electricity. Okay, but now, well, they found a way to charge us for wireless electricity. So it's coming out now. What we're going to be charged for under that system, a system that we're getting rid of. Okay, so why did I get onto that subject? Oh, it's like conspiracy theories. It just bothers me that it's a theory. If somebody comes to me and says, well, Paul, was there a conspiracy behind the death of John F. Kennedy? Well, I don't know. Let me check. Well, we think there was. When they tell me what their thing is, and I go, but that's a theory, right? There's no proof there, right? Well, no. Okay, well, I don't even want to hear it. Let me go figure it out for myself. That's the way I've been my whole life. That's the way I was raised. I was brought up by my mother. I have to admit it to you. That's the way she was. Okay? And she bought me books, and she taught me about the central banking system, because she was into that for some bizarre reason. Okay. But, we just were brought up real patriotic, freedom-loving people, God-loving, God-fearing people back in the 60s. Okay. So, it's always been there in me. More so, I would think, than even my 3 brothers. Okay, there was 4 of us, 4 boys, my poor mom, because they got divorced when I was around 10. But she did an amazing job. She taught us to be men, which is very, very rare. in the world today. So I give everything to my mom for what I ended up becoming. Because if she hadn't raised us that way, I don't know what we'd be like. Okay? But she was smart enough to realize, hey, these are boys, and I got to make them men. And she did that. Okay? we didn't have a choice. A lot of it we didn't like, you know? Hey, what? We have to leave the house at 18? Come on, man. We're just getting started, Mom. We don't want to pay rent. We don't want to go out and get a job. We just want to drive our cars and have some fun. No, you're not. You know, go out and get yourself a job, make a business, but you're moving out. Okay? So we all did. Okay, a little stuff like that. But I had to bring that up because it shows you that I thought and I see things a little bit different than a lot of other people. So I don't believe in theories because they're not proven yet. But I believe in conspiracies. That's just common sense and logic. Okay? It doesn't take a very smart individual to understand that there's conspiracies out there. But if you don't figure out a way to prove them, then don't bother, you know, worrying about it or thinking about it. Either prove it to yourself or move on. So when people came out with, hey, you know, I was reading these videos, this is a scam. And I said, geez, you know, that just made me like wary already. Okay. Either they're afraid of this or it's true. TBC might be a scam and it might not. So then I really dug into it. And guess what? It's real. It's 100% real. In fact, it's more real than all the other cryptocurrencies in the sense that it's just that we have, and we have been the only ones that have control of how we distribute that coin. It doesn't really make it more real than the other coins as money. Like I said, they're all options to protect your wealth against fiat currency. Have some. Have some gold if you want. Have some silver if you want. Have some precious stones if you want. Have some cryptocurrency. Because when this fiat system changes over to a gold-backed monetary system here in the United States, there's going to be a transition period. And it could be rough. Inflation will be horrendous when all these countries send our petrodollar back to us. Okay? So the central banking system is going to collapse at that point. But we, the patriots, want to keep the narrative and point our fingers at them. See, they're a private bank. A private bank could be audited. This private bank, the Federal Reserve, has never been audited in its history since 1913, when the last version of it took control again. Okay? Never been audited, folks, because they own everyone. But they didn't own Kennedy. They didn't own Reagan, but it wasn't the timing yet. Kennedy got a whole lot accomplished. He was a super threat, okay? But Reagan did an immense amount of good, but he basically had his hands tied because the situation and timing wasn't right. But now we've got Trump. He's not bought and paid for whatsoever. And he wants the destruction just like other people have wanted the destruction of the central banking system, but haven't been able to do something about it. Okay? But now it can be done, and it's getting done. Every battle we've had, we call it battles, we're at war against them. We've won so far since Trump has been in office. We're getting the job done. That's all you're seeing is peace being created out there, not war. Why is it that this is the first president we haven't seen gone out and make more war? Okay? Because you've got one system here. You've got Trump and the Patriots, and you've got the central banking system and the deep state, who are the enemy of all people of the earth. Okay? And now you've got the Patriots that have the ability for the first time to wipe that system off the face of the earth. That system that came and took our money away, charged our government interest, and loaned their money to our government, which had to turn around and charge and create income taxes against the Constitution for the American people to pay off those interests, that interest in those loans. Okay? That's the evil that system has created. And we're not going to take it anymore because God has a different plan at this time. All we can do is go along with it. But the point is, where I'm coming from is now, for the first time, you and I can do something about it. How? All we have to do is become a part of this private community of the Billion Coin, because the Billion Coin doesn't care about borders. It doesn't care about people, what their ideologies are, what their religions are. It doesn't care about any of that. It cares about one thing: bringing abundance to all the people of the world. Because that's all there is abundance in this world. There's unlimited amounts of water. The earth is 3/4 water. How ridiculous that they tell us there's no water. But it's seawater, Paul. You can't drink it. Yes, you can. You just desalinate it. So the whole country of Kuwait lives off desalinated water. That's the whole country of Kuwait lives off it. Okay, we have desalinated plants in California, but the central banking system doesn't like them. That's why they're being very slow in getting a foothold in our country. Meanwhile, Australia is they're popping up like like weeds, okay? Because there's another country that's loaded with deserts and has lack of fresh water, and the population is growing, and they need more water. So they're turning their oceans into fresh water by simply distilling it. So our coin is a solution, people. All you need to do is register with your name and an email address that's real, because you will get email that first time when you register. So it'll probably end up in your spam because you're not used to getting it from us. Okay, and all you need to do is open those emails, and you will have to find those emails and open them up and click on the confirmation link that's in them. It's a hyperlink. It'll say validate or something. Click here to be approved or whatever. You'll need to click on that hyperlink, and that will create basically three things. You'll register in our community on the main site. You'll create a wallet. By clicking that link, it will create the wallet. It will deposit a free amount of cookies, is what we call an award system. This is basically, you can redeem during a redemption period for real Kringles. Okay, but we don't want to put real Kringles into a wallet and you're not doing anything about it. You're not really serious about it. You might lose a password or something and not be able to get it, and we just have to throw those coins away. So we have cookies, is what we call them, and we put those into your back office, and that's the third one that's created, your back office. Okay, and you can do things to earn those cookies, like tell people about it and get them involved in our community, and we will give you more cookies. And these cookies have value, tremendous value. Okay, the gift that everyone gets when they join our community is, today we're $2,100. Okay, and that will go up to a value when we hit our first billion people of about $700,000. Maybe a little bit more if I'm I'm not real good at maybe more, but at least 700,000, which is life-changing money for the vast majority of us. And that will happen within 2 or 3 years. We'll hit a billion people within 2 or 3 years. Okay, especially now that we're moving over to this really fast transaction 2.0 blockchain platform. which will enable us to, like I said, go to any merchant out there and say, this is what we have to offer you. Not only that, but we have 3.2 million people that will do business with you. Or 6 months from now, we'll have 30 million people to do business with you. Or a year from now, we'll have 90 million people to do business with you. Bitcoin has 12 million users right now, and they're growing very slow because it's on a market. Okay, and people can't trust it completely because it goes up and down in price, up and down. And the only ones that understand what the option of what cryptocurrency is will buy it and just keep it. They'll put it in their wallet, their private wallet, and they'll just hang on to it. Okay, so that's why I say all cryptocurrencies is an option to protect your wealth if it's in fiat currency. But if you want a solution to eliminate poverty in the world, none of those cryptocurrencies will be a solution, nor are they. But the Billion coin is. That's what we've designed it from the beginning to be, and we're doing it. We're 2 years old now. All we've done is gotten better and better and better. We have communication with the creators of our coin, daily communication. It is amazing. We are so different, people. You need to get involved. All the information is below in the description of this video. Please go down there and check it out and come aboard. You'll get $2,100 value today that only goes up every day. Okay. Put in to your back office, which you can redeem during the redemption period. We're currently in a redemption period until the 15th. Okay, so if you move fast enough, you can even get it redeemed into actual coins that you can use as money if you can do it before the 15th of June. Today's the 8th? Okay. Then the next redemption period is November. Okay, the whole month of November will be the next redemption period. So you can build up cookies all you want by doing things or making small purchases of real Pringles. We will add on rewards for you doing that. We need to get this coin into your hands. It doesn't do the admin, the creators, any good to have all these coins if it can't be used as money, because it's not enough out there for people to use it as money. We need an economy, right? Bitcoin has a small economy, right? 12 million is all it took for them to have that small economy. Now imagine when we get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times larger in the next year. Oh, we're going to have an economy, all right. We're going to blow Bitcoin away. Okay, we've already got the most expensive coin in the world. It's just that nobody knows about it because it's not on the trading market. It's not on coin market cap. So we need to get these videos out and let the people know so that when they're doing searching on cryptocurrencies, they're going to get suggestions on the side. Hey, check out what the Billion coin is. Because now you can do something about poverty. And the title of this poverty is, what does elimination of poverty look like? Think about it. We've got this problem, this Me Too problem with females under the power of men. Why? Because of money. Well, you want to work for me? Or you want the good section of the restaurant to get your tips? You want the good section? Okay, now what if people weren't living like that because we were abundant instead of in a poverty, debt-based system where parents are having to go out and work under the horrendous conditions because people, evil men, take advantage of your mother, your sister, your daughters. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on about all the problems that lack creates in our world, right here in America. It's even worse in these other countries. Okay, but most of us, hopefully, it's not personally affecting, but we certainly see it. You know, when we're online or when we're watching TV or whatever, we see it, but we don't like to see it, right? But we know it's real. A solution? Get involved. Come together. As people, we have all the power. We have all the power. When we have all the money, we can do anything we want. We can build anything we want. We can pay for anything we want. We can do anything we want. It is freedom. Money in our hands is freedom. Crime due to lack, motivated by lack, will be eliminated. Just that part of crime. And you can't get rid of hate. Okay? But that will make an unbelievable change in our world, in our quality of life. Okay, so that is what the Billion Coin is all about. We want to get it in your hands. We are distributors. Okay? Ask us how to get involved. Go down there. You can practically get involved. You can get involved without even asking any questions. All the information is there. The main site, you can go there and get all the information you want about the algorithm and calculators, all the blog posts that go back for 2 years. You can, all about the broadcast, which you can get on whenever somebody's doing this, and we're trying to do it 24/7. Okay, 24/7 means, you know, we're trying to have somebody on there every half hour. And most of us go over the half hour. Okay, but we're here to answer your questions. In fact, that's another thing I always forget. Go on, Paul, go look and see who's out there. Wow, I'm so glad you guys showed up because I was answer your questions. In fact, that's another thing because I wasn't, this is not my usual time. I had another doctor's appointment. But Diana, thanks for being here. You are the best. I appreciate you beyond what you can imagine. Jules, incredible. Thank you guys. Stephen, Miss Medlock, you guys are all amazing. I see you on all the other videos that I watch every day, all the other broadcasts that I watch late. I don't watch them live, but I get there and I watch and I hit the thumbs up and so on and do everything I can to support, because that's what we're all about. Getting these videos out to everyone and getting the information out. And even though, yes, I find myself repeating myself every day, is because I don't know when someone's going to come brand new and see this video and not one of my other ones. So that's just the way I have been so far. And then I try to throw in something new, or if the blog comes out that's really, you know, I'm getting questions about, I'll try to go over it and help, you know, people to understand it, our members and new members. So, and of course I pick up information from you guys doing the live broadcast that I wasn't aware of, or a different viewpoint. And I say, wow, that's awesome. You know, I'm going to speak about that tomorrow or whatever. So it's just incredible, isn't it? To be a part of something this magnificent. And people out there that are new and watching this possibly, or any of these other broadcasters, come to us, get a hold of us. Our contact information is below the descriptions of our videos. Contact us. We will help you. We will walk you through the process and make sure that you get involved. It's really, 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 really simple. And the difference that you will make, not only in your own lives, but in the lives of your family, your loved ones, your friends, is beyond anything you can imagine. It's beyond anything they can imagine, because we've been so brainwashed with this scarcity mindset. We don't think abundantly. Okay, but we are changing that. Okay, I am beginning to think abundantly. Okay, and it's getting better every day. I'm getting rid of that scarcity mindset. Okay, and it really is an awesome feeling. It gives you way more hope, gives you way more faith, because not only is it real, but we can actually see things happening right now. Being a part of like the billion coin is a reality. And if that isn't the best thing to see, it's like you have faith in things, right, that you don't see, right? But here you can have hope and faith, and now you're seeing it. Okay? I've always had hope and faith my whole life, okay? Because I was raised that way. Okay? And but there wasn't anything I could do about it, right? God has to do it. But here he is. His hand is in this. There's no way it's not. Okay? So because I've been around long enough to know when I see his hand in something. Okay? And this is, like I said, once again, a magnificent time to be alive. Okay? And we're going to see some things because the central banking system is not going to give up without a fight. They've been in control for, like I said, millennium with their monarchs, their king systems, their queen systems, their empire systems. But it's going bye-bye. And this is a turning point in the history of mankind. Okay? It's not going to eliminate. We're not going to turn into a paradise. But it's going to change things for the better. Because we're not going to be slaves anymore. And when we're not slaves, there's a tremendous amount of things we can do. And we've never been able to do it before. And each generation that's coming after us will be in that situation, God willing. Okay? Like I said, it's not going to turn the world into a paradise, but it's going to make major changes. Okay? I don't know why. I'm not God. I don't know why he does what he does. But this is what's happening right now. So now you and I can do something about it for the first time. And all we have to do is sign up for free and pay $10. There's a $10 annual charge now. It's just to help make you guys serious about us. We were giving everything away free last year. Just free. Free wallet, free back office. Well, we started charging $10 for the back office last year. But it was optional. If you didn't want that back office, you didn't have to pay. If you didn't want to share it with others, then you didn't have to pay the $10. But now it's different, okay? Because we've realized that a bunch of people just didn't take us seriously. They didn't put any value on what we had to offer. So we said, okay, we're going to charge everybody $10 period when they come and they join. In fact, we're not even going to base our price and raise our price of our coin unless somebody has paid $10. That made complete sense to me. Common sense and logic. Okay? I saw it before, but I'm not the admin. But I saw what was going on. And so when we got this migration change and we got these cookie rewards and all the things that they keep coming out with, because that's all admin does is continue to improve our system. It is just amazing to be a part of this community and to see what's going on out there in the world with the billion coin. 3.2 million people in over 200 countries and what they are doing with it already after just 2 years. And now it's just going to explode. It's like I mention every day, Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, says the cryptocurrency industry or field, whatever you want to call it, cryptocurrency community, okay, will be mature, fully mature in 10 years. Just like the internet was. When it came out in 1990, it was mature by 2000, right? All the masses of people came in during the 90s. That's what they're doing with cryptocurrency right now. The masses are pouring into cryptocurrency. So come on, if you haven't done it yet, and you probably have because you probably wouldn't have caught this video unless you were at least involved somewhat in learning about cryptocurrency. So get involved in ours. You can get involved in any of the others, that's fine. But you need to be involved in ours if you want to change and eliminate global poverty, because no other coin will do it. And we're 2 years ahead of everyone else. We're bringing wealth. We're distributing wealth to you. We want you to be wealthy. We are not selfish. We are not greedy. We want you to have the same beautiful big houses, whatever house you want, live wherever you want, drive whatever kind of car you want, wear whatever kind of clothes you want, eat whatever you want. That's what we want. We are like-minded. Okay, I'll let you guys go. I've talked enough. A whole hour. Let's see, what's tomorrow? Saturday? Okay, well, there's no doctor's appointments on Saturday, right? I should be here at 5 o'clock tomorrow. No problems, God willing. Same place, same time, same channel. You guys have a great day and night wherever you're at in the world. And thank you guys again for watching me and listening to me. And I hope you got something out of this. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.